Hi everyone, welcome back to Escape Monster, and today I'm just doing a little test ride on the barrels.
Okay, in a minute I'm going to be referring to this as being slightly wobbly. I do not mean speed wobble. I took this up to 18 mile an hour after this and had no worries about speed wobble.
Okay.
Um, Even just standing on it, the board feels, I hate to say it, so much more wobbly. Previously, I had taken the dampers out of these springs, and there was more turn on the board, but it wasn't quite so, what I would say, wobbly. I think what I've done here is on the Trampa website, it says about actually putting the barrels on the inside setting. You've got two settings where you can either put the springs or the barrels. You've got the inner and the outer, and on the barrels it says about putting them on the inner. And I think the extra leverage that you have over on the barrels, putting them on the internal setting rather the outer screws, is so much different. And I mean, the turn you can get on this now is absolutely brilliant. You're not going to worry about wanting a tighter turn whatsoever. However, for me personally, I feel that I would like slightly less. So what I'm going to do is when I go back home, I'll get them swapped over to the outer, and I think that'll probably feel about perfect for me. This was just that little bit too much, especially here. You can see I was probably going too slow at that point, but the amount of turn you had on the board was a huge amount. Just tighten the bindings back up again. And even when jumping there, you can see actually just leaning forward and back. I'd like a little bit more stability, just a little bit. It's me being fussy, so.
Okay, so that's a little test run on the barrels. They are super turny, and we'll see what happens later.
Okay,
Right.
so now headed off to Horsham pump track, and just do a little bit more turning. Obviously, I'm better at turning on my toe side, but that's quite a good turn. I mean, you're not going to want any more than that, definitely. Just to prove in a minute that I can actually do a hillside turn, and it's a reasonably tight hillside turn. Now, what I'm finding is, as I'm going over the bumps out here, because it's such a soft turn, as I go over the bump, you haven't got as much stability to actually, or as you land. Again, it's just something that I'm going to tweak and get a little bit of stability back. I would not have got that turn last time. That's a 180 turn, and this one, you're going to see, it's a 180 turn. It's on my heel side, and I just went to slow down a bit, and goodbye ran into us.
Oh, you're right. I'm not very good on the hillside.
But just look at how tight that turn is at this pump track. We are not talking like you get a nice.
Well, that's tight.
I don't know. It's just too tight. Look at it. Now, if you think you can do a hillside turn, if that's your offside, on something that tight, and you've got some more tips from me, apart from more commitment, I didn't actually. This wasn't the only time I did it, and I guess eventually I probably would get it. About 4 times I went up and over the top because I didn't quite get it. And ended up in the ditch the other side of it, which is quite amusing. But again, I feel if I tighten it up just a little bit, it's going to give me a little bit more stability and still get the turn. Don't get me wrong, guys, I'm loving riding my Trampa, but just look at how much turn there is on that, which obviously takes away a little bit of stability. Look at that. I mean, I really think the barrels are brilliant, but that is a huge amount of turn. Anyway, catch you guys on the next one.